Have you ever wondered what happened to Intel? For decades, Intel Inside wasn't just a sticker on your laptop. It was a symbol of dominance, a guarantee of cutting-edge technology. They were the undisputed kings of the silicon world. But in the last decade, something shifted. Their crown slipped. This is the story of how Intel, a titan of industry, lost a staggering amount of its value and, more importantly, its grip on the future. Let's rewind a bit. Back in the day, Intel was synonymous with progress. Their tick-tock model was legendary. One year, they'd shrink their transistors, that's the tick. The next year, they'd introduce a brand new microarchitecture, the tock. This relentless two-step was the engine of Moore's Law, the observation that the number of transistors on a chip doubles about every 2 years. For years, it worked like a charm. Each new generation of Intel chips brought more power, more efficiency, and cemented their lead over rivals like AMD. They were unstoppable. They owned the PC market, and the incredibly profitable server market was their fortress. Everyone else was just playing for second place. So where did it all go wrong? The first crack in the armor appeared around 2014. Intel was supposed to move to a new, smaller 10-nanometer manufacturing process. This was a critical tick in their model, a leap that would keep them ahead, but it didn't happen. The 10-nanometer process proved to be monumentally difficult. Delays piled up. What was supposed to be a 2-year cycle stretched into 3, then 4, then 5 years. Intel got stuck. They were forced to keep refining their older 14-nanometer technology over and over again. They released products like Skylake, Kaby Lake, Coffee Lake, and Comet Lake, all fundamentally based on the same architecture, just tweaked and pushed to its absolute limits. While Intel was wrestling with its manufacturing demons, the world wasn't waiting. A new era was dawning, the age of the smartphone. And in this new world, Intel made a catastrophic miscalculation. They completely underestimated the rise of mobile computing. The chips that power our phones, designed by a company called ARM and manufactured by others like TSMC, were built on a different philosophy. They prioritized power efficiency, getting the most performance per watt of energy. This was crucial for devices that run on a battery. Intel, with its focus on raw desktop performance, saw mobile as a low-margin distraction. They had a chance to power the original iPhone, but they passed. It's a decision that now looks like one of the biggest blunders in corporate history. This mistake handed the entire mobile market to their competitors. And as smartphones became the primary computing device for billions of people, the center of gravity in the tech world shifted away from the PC. The architects of this new world were companies like Apple, Qualcomm, and Samsung, all using ARM-based designs. And the company physically building these revolutionary chips? A Taiwanese foundry called TSMC. While Intel was stuck at 14 nanometers, TSMC was mastering the art of advanced chip manufacturing. They perfected their 10-nanometer process, then 7-nanometer, and then 5-nanometer, all while Intel was still struggling. This created a shocking reversal of fortunes. For the first time in history, other companies could access manufacturing technology that was more advanced than Intel's. This is where AMD, Intel's longtime rival, saw their opening. For years, AMD had been beaten down, unable to compete with Intel's manufacturing advantage. But now, they could design a great chip and have TSMC build it on a superior process. That's exactly what they did with their Ryzen processors. Suddenly, AMD wasn't just competitive. In many areas, they were better. They offered more cores, better performance, and better value. The fortress that was Intel's PC market share began to crumble. Even their lucrative server business, once untouchable, came under serious threat from AMD's EPYC processors. The rise of TSMC also empowered another giant, Apple. For years, Apple had relied on Intel to power its Macs, but they were frustrated with Intel's delays and lack of progress. As Apple's own chip designing prowess, grew with their A-series chips for the iPhone and iPad, they realized something profound. They could design their own chips for the Mac, have TSMC build them, and achieve performance and efficiency that Intel simply couldn't match. The result was the M1 chip, a bombshell that completely reshaped the personal computer landscape. Macs with Apple Silicon were faster, quieter, and had incredible battery life. It was a clear demonstration that the Intel Inside era was over for Apple. So you have a perfect storm. Intel fumbled its own manufacturing. It missed the mobile revolution entirely. Its main rival, AMD, found a powerful new ally in TSMC. And its biggest customer, Apple, decided to go its own way. Each of these would have been a major blow. Together, they were a devastating combination. Intel's stock price stagnated while competitors soared. The company that once defined the future was now seen as a relic of the past, desperately trying to catch up. The fall from grace was brutal. It wasn't just about market share or stock price. It was about losing the narrative. The title of technology leader had been stolen. Engineers and innovators who once dreamed of working at Intel were now flocking to Nvidia, Apple, and AMD. The company's culture, once famously aggressive and paranoid about competition, had grown complacent. Now, Intel is fighting back. They've brought in a new CEO, Pat Gelsinger, an engineering veteran from Intel's glory days. He has laid out an ambitious, almost impossibly difficult roadmap to reclaim manufacturing leadership. They're investing billions in new factories in Arizona, Ohio, and Germany. They're not just trying to fix their own production. They're also starting a foundry business to build chips for other companies, directly competing with TSMC and Samsung. It's a high-stakes gamble. The plan is to launch 5 new process nodes in just 4 years, an unprecedented pace. Can they pull it off? The challenges are immense. Rebuilding a cutting-edge manufacturing process is one of the hardest things to do in technology. It requires flawless execution and a bit of luck. Meanwhile, their competitors aren't standing still. TSMC is already working on 2 nanometer and beyond. The world of AI has also exploded, a field dominated by Nvidia's specialized GPUs, another area where Intel is playing catch-up. The story of Intel is a powerful lesson. It shows that no lead is safe, no empire is eternal. It is a story of how missing one massive technological shift, the move to mobile, can have cascading consequences for decades. It's a story of how internal manufacturing stumbles can open the door for hungry rivals. Intel's journey from the undisputed king to a challenger fighting for its future is one of the most dramatic tales in modern business. Their next few years will determine whether they can engineer a comeback for the ages or become a footnote in the history of the very industry they helped create. What do you think? Can Intel reclaim its throne, or is the future owned by companies like TSMC, Nvidia, and Apple? Let me know your thoughts down in the comments. Thanks for watching, and if you enjoyed this deep dive, make sure to subscribe for more stories from the world of tech. See you in the next one.